So what's up? Look at this view, my man. I can see the ocean from where I live right now. San Diego, California. Let's go. 5 years ago, I was washing dishes in Australia, and in this video, I'm going to talk about how I went from washing dishes. Hola, Reals. Aquí lavando platos. Voy a enseñar un poquito todo esto, chavales. Aquí es donde lavo platos. Así que a darle caña, ya me queda una semana, un fin de semana y ya estoy. To really living the American dream, which was all I dreamed of after my pro roller hockey career. I will talk about later in this video about my professional career and how I, came across to this goal and this dream and everything. But all this, like washing dishes to living the American dream, I achieved it in only 5 years. For those who don't know, I'm from Spain. I'm not from America. So it was like a big step for me, moving to a country, learning the language from scratch. I will talk about later this, okay? But anyways, I just want to inspire you and show you where I live right now. And I'm doing all of this just to inspire people, and I hope my story can resonate with some of you guys, and hopefully I can inspire you to achieve your dreams. So let's get started, okay? It all started when I was 14. When I was 14, I started to watch YouTube videos. It's when, I think 2015 or something like this, started to, became famous YouTube videos and all this stuff. So I got in love with YouTube. I just was obsessed watching YouTube videos, and when I was 15, came across a YouTube video from LA, Los Angeles, California, and I saw bodybuilding lifestyle, tattoos, Gold's Gym, Venice Beach. It all, like, something inside me just clicked, and I felt something that I knew it was the place I will be living in the future. I didn't know when and how, but I just knew I will be there, okay? Anyways, I say that because, since I was 3 years old, I started to practice roller hockey, and my dream was to become professional in that sport. So I just, was focusing on that. Since I was very young, I just was treated like a professional athlete, practicing almost every day, mentally and physically, like structured like a professional athlete, what I was eating, everything, okay? Anyways, at 13, I started to, practice with the highest team. On that time, on my sport club, they weren't professional, but I was practicing with 20, 25 years older people older than me. In roller hockey, is kind of ice hockey, but with roller skates, if those who don't know what sport is this. So practice with these people as a 13-year-old, it was really scary for me. I identify myself in my childhood where the only thing I knew, it was doing things that scared me, because I always was pushing and be like, I was surrounded with like players that were much bigger than me, and it was really like the emotions I was feeling, it was like, wow, I'm scared and pushing through the uncertainty and doing uncomfortable things all the time. So yeah, anyways, when I was 18, I became, I debuted in the professional league. My sport team, on that year specifically, we became professional. So yeah, basically, at 18, I was playing professional, and on that summer, after like my 18 years old, that summer, one of the best teams in the world wanted to sign me to play with them, and of course I was signed with that team. and I played the next year there. Always I dreamed of that. My dream was to play with the Barca team in roller hockey. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it, but I was signed with the top teams in the world on that sport. So it was really special for me, and I just knew I was living my dream, and I said to myself, I've done it. After 16 years, playing, it was really special for me. Anyways, once I started to practice and play with this new team, something shifted at half season, something changed, and I just started to see I just wasn't feeling practicing. I just started to play less and less. I was unmotivated. I hated practice, and I just fucking knew that I needed to quit. I needed to leave this sport. I don't know how to explain in that moment, but I just felt I needed to do a different thing, because I just, I felt accomplished, if that makes sense, and I was living that dream. But once I started to live this dream, it wasn't the thing I thought I wanted, if that makes sense. So anyways, I took one of the hardest decisions I've made on my life, and I believe one of the best ones. I left the sport, I left the team. So I finished the year with that team, and then they wanted me for the next season. But at the start of the season, I decided to leave the season, and I didn't start it. On that summer, before saying I was quitting, I started to go to the gym. My dad didn't hated gym. He was saying me all the time that the gym was hurting me for my performance, my agility in the sport and everything. But the first time I went to the gym, my mom allowed me to go to the gym without my dad knowing. And the first day, I remember if it was yesterday. This is insane. I opened the door. It was a small gym. I will put a picture here. I think I found a picture in the internet, and I will show you the gym. But I felt like this is my place. This is my thing. This is my thing. And I just became obsessed on this, and I just didn't stop. I just got in love, obsessed, and I just relived that video of LA bodybuilding and everything. And I just, got obsessed. So I left. My dad, our relationship was really all about roller hockey. Our connection was tied to roller hockey. Once I left, everything went away. My dad didn't speak to me for a year. He couldn't understand why I left, because he knew it took me so hard to be there. And I just, with this, I just left. Years and years of working, my childhood, all about, but I just, in one day, go away. He couldn't understand. He didn't speak to me for a year. On that year, I just decided to focus on the gym. Of course, the thing is, what triggered a lot my dad, it was that I left my professional career to improve my physique, become a personal trainer, and record YouTube videos. Show how to train, how to, my lifestyle, and, training in the gym. In Spain, it wasn't a big thing. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it wasn't a thing. Nowadays it's normalized, but it wasn't a thing. So for my dad, that is his old school, he couldn't understand. Like he thought I was ruining my life or whatever. But anyways, I just stick to that. On that time when I decided to leave and pursue this, it wasn't certain for me, of course. Everyone around me was telling me I was crazy. My old coaches, my current coach, my dad, my mom, everyone. What are you doing? You know? Anyways, I just knew I could do it, but consciously on that time, I was scared. I didn't know if I was doing the right decision, and if I was taking the right decision. And anyways, I just had faith, and I just thought to myself, let's go. Can go wrong, can go right, but let's go, okay? So I relived the dream again, going to the US, living there, like bodybuilding lifestyle, whatever. So I created a plan. I didn't know the language. I've never flown again before. I was really shy. I didn't believe in myself. I wasn't confident. So I just, on that time I met a mentor. His name is Yados Fitness. I don't know if everyone knows him, but he was living in California, LA. He was training golf gym. He was tattooed, jacked, was training people online, making YouTube videos. It just like was exactly what I wanted. And I got obsessed learning from him, okay? And I just did, like I was obsessed on his story, how he got there and exactly what he did, and I did. He went to Australia, I did. So the first plan of like achieving the American dream was living in Australia, learning English there, start to work as a personal trainer there, because it was like a country where fitness was big. So it all makes sense. It made sense. So I just followed his steps and his plan, and the first year after my retirement, I just worked as a landscaper for a full year to pay the visa and the studies there, because I went there with student visa to learn English. So that's what I did. At the end of the year, paid the flight, paid the visa, paid the studies. I just had one month of savings, didn't know anyone, I've never flown before, and everything. So it was the scariest decision, the scariest experience I've ever done. And I will explain now why it was life-changing for me. Not because I lived in another country, it's just because, anyways, my first time flying 24-hour flight. The largest flight, I went for it. Connection flight in Dubai, I've never done a connection flight before. Anyways, I just got there. I don't know how, but I just did it. It was the scariest decision of my life. I left my family back home, my friends back home, which at that time I was that obsessed with bodybuilding that I didn't care losing my friends. That's how obsessed I was. And I was there. Gold Coast. I lived in the Gold Coast. I will put picture here, but beautiful place, beach town, wherever. I just didn't have a job. I just was living in a hostel for 2 weeks, and then I met a person, Spanish people there, and I went to live with them. I was living in the couch, but I was paying rent, of course, and it all started to make sense. He connected me with a job, which was washing dishes in a restaurant. I started to washing dishes there, and I just went going. I honestly, the first 9 months, they were the hardest months of my life, but at the same time, they were the happiest months of my life. I just felt alive again. I just felt like I was really alive, and the unknown, the adrenaline I was living, wow, it was the best experience I ever done. Anyways, I lived there 2 years. I worked as a personal trainer there for 3 months, but it is a long story. But anyways, at that time I wasn't ready to really work as a personal trainer. I didn't know a lot of, the language. I understood on that time. I started to work as a personal trainer, but couldn't keep a conversation, if that makes sense. So it was hard to really find clients, whatever, okay? Anyways, I did 3 months and I left, okay? And I started to work 2 jobs to really survive there and sharing house with people. And I met a lot of good people, and I'm so fucking grateful for that. But anyways, the end of the year, the 2 years, the first stage of my plan was gone. I just knew perfectly English. By the way, I want you to understand this, okay? I didn't hang out with the Spanish people just at the beginning with this person that helped me to really find a house. But I just was avoiding Spanish people all the time, okay? Because I knew I needed to learn English, and if I was hanging out with these people, I would end up speaking Spanish. So I just isolated myself. Those 2 years I was really alone, really freaking alone. And I've learned a lot of things in Australia. Like I said, it wasn't about the experience and living abroad. It was I just leveled up. If I was here, man, I just was here at the end of this journey after 2 years. I've learned so many things and I became so freaking powerful. I just believed in myself. It is hard to really explain all the things, but I will summarize it. I became a completely different version of myself. I just was completely different than when I just landed in the Gold Coast in Australia. Completely different person. Confident, strong, physically powerful, more aesthetic, and I was starting to getting tattoos. I just tattooed like this part, all the forearm and arm and hand. Sorry. Anyways, I got back to Spain, and I just knew it was the step to go to the US. Didn't know how. Anyways, I got a tourist visa, and I stayed 2 weeks there in Spain, and I went to San Diego. I came here to San Diego. I said, I will figure out. I could do it in Australia, I can do it again. US, completely different than Australia in terms of if you are an immigrant. Completely different, very hard to stay here with legally and everything. Anyways, but I told myself, I can do it. If I've done that in Australia, I could do this. Easy. I went there, paid an Airbnb for 2 weeks to allow me to, find a job or whatever opportunity. Couldn't find. And I had to come back to Spain. I failed the first time, okay? And I just met a person in Australia, and it all connected. On that time, just when I was coming back to Spain, something came to my mind. It was this person I met online through an online course I invested in to really learn online business and everything. he was doing an au pair program. He was living in the US. And when I met him, I just didn't like pay attention. But once I was coming back after failing, I just knew I needed to do this. Just knew. So that's what I did, okay? I spent the summer in Spain working. Luckily, I was born in a vacation city, so in a vacation town, so there's plenty of work there, short term. So I just worked the summer and paid this au pair program, whatever, and I just found the family, because the au pair program is kind of, you work as a babysitter and you live inside the family, wherever. Went there. I found a family in Chicago. I couldn't find a family in California. But the second year doing this visa is 2 years max, okay? 2 years max. First year, like if you want to extend the second year, you can choose the state, the family you want to choose the state from. So I told myself, okay, I'm going to Chicago with the family. I feel aligned with the values and everything. Will be easy, 2 boys, whatever. I spent 1 year in Chicago, and then the second year I transitioned to really in California and try to find a family in San Diego, okay? I made the year in Chicago, didn't like at all. The only thing I love the most, and I'm so grateful, is, what a coincidence, I'm wearing this. This is the America's Gym is the gym I was training in Chicago. Beautiful gym. I recommend you guys to, if you all live here or you want to go there, the best gym in Chicago is America's Gym. Check it out. Shout out to Brian, the owner of the gym. Yeah, anyways. Finished the Chicago year, and it was the time to really renew the visa and change the family. Couldn't find a family. Couldn't find the family in San Diego. Anyways, I chose California state. Family is reaching out from San Francisco. Hate San Francisco. Really cold. If you want to stay in California, for me, it's all about good weather, beach, vibes, hot all the year. So LA or San Diego. Anyways, couldn't find. I found a family in Newport Beach, which is between Los Angeles and San Diego. It was fine. I said to myself, look, it's not that bad. It's just the area I want to be, more or less. It's just fine. I wanted to go to San Diego, but couldn't find. Had the pressure with the current family that I needed to tell them if I will keep going with living with them or transitioning to California. And I said, oh, look, it's fine for now. I will be here for a year, and then it will be, I will be there, okay? I will be there. It was the time to really decide to do the match, which is, decide to go with this family. Last minute, man. Last freaking minute. San Diego family reaching out. And I just, I was that's it. That I'm going there. I don't care to tell them that I go back, and I don't, because it was yeah, we are doing this, blah, blah, blah. It was all done. Just we needed to do the legalization and official match, But I just goes to San Diego. I told them that I will not go there and blah, blah, blah. I'm here, man. Look at this, bro. San Diego, California, let's go. I'm living the American dream. Yeah, so that's how I went here. And that's my story. I don't worry about the next visas because I'm figuring out. And now I'm focusing on, my business. I've been I want you to understand this, okay? Because a lot of people will say, oh, the American dream, you are not living really the American dream. For me, I'm living the American dream, and here's why. Most people say, especially American people, the American dream, which is have your business, become millionaire, have your own house, live a good lifestyle. Most, like the majority, 98% of people that live here in America will say you are living the American dream if you have these things in your reality. Anyways, but for me, it just living the American dream. It just live here, man. And I feel I'm American, and it's just time to get the citizenship and everything. I don't freaking care, and I don't really worry about all the visas and how I will do it. I'm just here right now, and I have almost figured it out. Okay, I can have different type of visas to really give me time, because I will be honest with you guys. The fastest way to become citizen is to marry a person, but I want to really do it well. I'm a person that I will not do it for the visa. I cannot do it. I don't care. I can find another way. And I will marry a person that really I admire and I respect, and I really believe I will find it. Okay. But anyways, I have different options and different visas to really give me time to really find the right person. Okay. Anyways, the fastest way is to marry a person to become a citizen here in the US, and I'm really sure I will do it this way, but I just need time. Okay. Anyways, I'm here. For me, living the American dream is just I train in the best bodybuilding gym in San Diego, the Mecca of San Diego. I just always dreamed of living here, and beach lifestyle, hot weather. We are in December and it's freaking hot. I can go to the beach if I wanted now. I will not be cold. And that's it, man. This is my story, and what I wanted to try to say is, like, when I was really obsessed throughout these 5 years, I was really obsessed in this dream, and I avoided pretty much all the other areas of my life. I just kept the critical things to really help me to reach this goal. And I will explain right now this, okay? But I left behind the area of family, relationships, partner, friends, whatever. A lot of times mental health, which, by the way, I realized it was really a crucial pillar to keep going, but that's the point. And what really, right now, I'm really focusing on those areas. I achieved my dream, and I can focus now on money. I forgot. I left behind my professional career, personal training, whatever. I can focus on growing that, which is here, you guys. I can focus on relationships, friends and partner, wife, and family. Okay, family will be a really difficult one, because they are not living here. But the relationship, okay, because on those 5 years, I've been speaking weekly, once a week with them, but kind of just define things, and I'm keep working on that. Okay, right now. So I don't care to share all the stuff, because I know my worth. I came here. I know my struggles. I know what I went through, and it's just time. And I will explain how I did it in just 5 years. I've learned English in less than 1 year. I became really fluent I will say in 1.5 years, English speaking. I achieved a lot of things, and the big point here is, like, my fitness was crucial. Those times, hard times, when I went to the gym, my energy shifted every single day. It was my life saving. So that's the habit I did every single day. The second habit is keep learning about myself, my personal growth. reading personal growth books, investing in people where they help me to really step forward in my personal growth and really understand myself. That's the 3 habits that I do, and I will keep doing it because that's the success, I believe. And the last one is just really, I would say 3. I would simplify it. Man. Fitness, working out. I don't care if you do CrossFit or whatever, or I don't care. But if you are here, you love fitness and bodybuilding, so that's what I do. That's how I push my body into, into the state where I can elevate my frequency. Learning about myself and learning about the universe, how the world works, okay? You need to understand this, okay? The world works with laws. Your dreams are simply frequencies, and you need to understand how to reach those frequencies, okay? That's the I would say the 4, that's why, because I will say this, but it all comes down to personal growth, okay? Learning about yourself, improving yourself, investing in yourself, and really understand how you can achieve your goals, okay? And that's the 4 pillars that you really need to do every single day, and that's what I do, and what I document every single day on my Instagram. And here I will start to make YouTube videos about it, to show my life and how I keep achieving my goals and my dreams and everything. But I just wanted to share my story, and that's how I did it, man. Fitness, learning about myself, personal growth, and understanding the laws of the universe, how the world works, okay? Let's go. Woke up, man. You have one life. Follow your fucking dreams.